Welcome to Canadian Quadders Review. I'm Mark. Today we are at BDM Motorsports in Vernon, BC, Canada, and we're checking out a 2023 Kawasaki Brute Force 750. Does Kawasaki change anything ever? Let's find out. So when I started riding many years ago, this was essentially my first quad. It was an 06 and it was a 650, but very much the same machine, and it was built like a tank. It was a great machine. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I would change too much, but some better tires would have definitely been a huge bonus for me. But it was a really well-made quad, and it just took me everywhere I wanted to go. It kept up with everybody. It was made solid. It was just a really cool machine. So if you decide to come and pick up something like this, you'll be happy with it. It's, again, Kawasaki quality, great refinement. It's built tough. It's got a great stance. You sit nice and tall on it. And so this engine is a 749cc. It is liquid cooled, 4-stroke, single overhead cam, 4 valve per cylinder, a 90-degree V-twin engine. The roar of the V-twin on these bikes is awesome. It sounds great. It's got an 85 by 66 millimeter bore and stroke. It is fuel injected. You're going to have a battery and coil transistorized ignition. It will have electric start. It's going to have a dual range CVT with reverse transmission, so that's of course your high and your low range. And it is shaft driven, and it does have a manual front locking diff, the typical yellow handle on the left handlebar that allows you to lock in the front diff just as tight as you want it. Whether it be lock it in 100% or just 50 or whatever, it just goes by how much you pull that lever in. Some guys really like it. I prefer something that's push button, but again, each their own opinion. It still has a front locking diff, so you're ahead of the game there. So this Kawi is going to have a double cradle high tensile tubular steel frame. Your front suspension is going to be a double wishbone with adjustable preloaded shocks. You're going to have 169 millimeters or 6 inches of wheel travel. The rear suspension is going to be a double wishbone with adjustable preload again. It's going to be 190 millimeters or 7.5 inches of wheel travel. This bike would be definitely better than the one I previously had because mine was still a solid axle in the rear. Now that I've had one of each, the rear independent suspension for me is the way to go. So it's going to come with some entry-level tires on this thing, so you might, if you're thinking about doing some serious quadding with clubs or that kind of thing, you know, you're going to put it to the test, definitely get yourself some better tires. So like maybe a Kenda Bear Claw or a Maxxis Bighorn 2.0, tires like that, or anything maybe from ITP, fantastic tire makes. But this is going to come with an AT 25 by 8 by 12 in the front and a 25 by 10 by 12 in the rear. So those are the most popular tire sizes on the market. Shouldn't be hard for you to find anything, but like I've always said, they'll get you going, they'll get you on the trail. Upgrading the tires would definitely be a good thing. Your front brakes are going to be a 200 millimeter disc with 2 piston calipers, and the rear brake, as always with Kawasaki, is an enclosed wet multi-disc brake in the rear differential, and your parking brake is also a part of that wet multi-disc system in the rear. So again, if you're fairly new to ATVing and stuff and you're wanting to buy yourself a half decent machine that's going to keep up with everybody, this is definitely one of them. It's made really well. Again, change your oil, make sure your air cleaner is clean, give it a good wash down every time you come home from a ride. It will last you a long time, and the parts are readily available. And last time I checked, which was before COVID unfortunately, but the parts are actually reasonable in price in comparison to some. And in my opinion, as far as the features that a bike could come with, This particular model comes with the three most important things. You have your fuel injection, you have your power steering, and you have your rear independent suspension. Those are the three most important things. At this point, I'd recommend changing the lights to something LED if you plan on doing any sort of night riding. Trust me, it makes a world of difference. And changing your tires, something that's at least a 6-ply and maybe even a radial on top of that. A little bit more money, but again, a much nicer ride, better traction, and a lot longer longevity. They'll last a lot longer too, more puncture resistant. And of course, like I've always said, spend the extra money and put a winch on the front of it. This is when it saves your ass, you will not miss the money that you've put into it. So, but as far as a platform goes, a fantastic bike. So you're going to have a road clearance on this guy of 240 millimeter and 9 inches. That's a little low in comparison to competition. Your seat height is 910 millimeters or 35 inches. Your curb mass is 317 kilograms or 699 pounds. You're going to have a 20-liter fuel tank, which is a good size. Your towing capacity is going to be 567 kilograms or 1,250 pounds. You're going to have the typical Kawasaki LCD display, so it has a wealth of information on there for you: speedometer, odometer, trip meter, fuel gauge, all that kind of stuff. You're going to be well informed as to what's going on with your machine. And through Kawasaki here in Canada, it looks like there's a 12-month warranty as well. The one thing I would harp about is that they haven't put a 2-inch receiver on the back like the majority of their competition. The one bonus though is that they did keep the round tubular steel racks, which is fantastic in my opinion. Rear independent suspension is going to be awesome. And like all quads, fully automatic. And they were great about giving you some front storage, so you could put maybe a water bottle or two in here, which is kind of cool. There's your key for on and off. Very simplistic 4-wheel drive switch, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. Of course, your throttle is here. Another nice rack on the front. I'm going to get you some weight ratings here as we go. And it is electric power steering, bonus on the trail. For those of you again who are just starting, the power steering makes a huge difference, especially when you're going over bumps, and it alleviates a lot of the handlebar whip. So if you happen to hit a rock that you don't see, sometimes the handlebar can whip out on you, and you know, it could hurt or just very uncomfortable, but that eliminates a lot of it. And so you're going to have a 44 kilogram. You're going to have a 44 kilogram or 88 pound weight limit on the front rack, which is not bad. You're going to have another great storage feature in the front. Okay, Kawi, would have done that a little bit different. Just a little bit more of a tab to pull on would have been nice, but still, it's front storage, which is really handy. Again, fully or pretty much enclosed wheel or footwells, but your dipstick is easy to get at, which is good. Let's take a peek, see if I can get underneath the seat. Oh, here it is. Okay, so underneath the seat, you're going to find a tool pouch and all your electronics. That'll be your air box up there. So again, the air box is a little bit higher. If you happen to go through water and stuff, that'll be a bit of an advantage for you. I'm sure you can buy a snorkel kit for these things. Your fuel tank is going to be underneath, so a better center of gravity, which a lot of the competition is doing these days, which is good too. And I like the styling of the bike too. You know, it looks really good. And like I said, they were great off-road. This will take you anywhere you really want to go. Let's hop on it, shall we? Oh, yeah. So you got your typical high stance. The seat on this is really nice and firm. It's comfortable. It's typical Kawasaki, right? Just can't go wrong. Here is that lever I was telling you about for your front diff lock. So the more you pull it, the more locked it is. So some guys really like that because they can choose. Of course, your headlights, starter switch, kill switch, override switch. Okay, and let's show you so you got a great display, show you your 4-wheel drive and your clock, your odometers, gas. And so you'll have a bunch of lights around here for like belt maintenance and all sorts of different things, so that'll be good. And here's that 4-wheel drive switch again, your throttle. Everything's just nice and laid out. It's a comfortable bike to ride. Don't have to strain your eyes to look at the LCD display, it's right there. And mine wasn't overly bright at night, so that was good too. And yeah, here's your gated shifting. Just a really cool bike. Like I said, get your hands on one of these, you'll be happy. It's just well made, does what it's supposed to do, requires very little maintenance or repairs. It's just a great machine. So there you have it, guys, another great one from Kawasaki. The technology is old, but it is tried and true. It's solid, it's gonna last. Just give it a little bit of maintenance, pay it a little respects, and this thing it'll be around for a long time. So come and check it out at BDM Motorsports in Vernon, BC, Canada. Come and talk to them, tell them I sent you, they'll take great care of you. This is a fantastic machine. Get your hands on this, you'll have a lot of fun. So with that, I'm out of here, guys, but so appreciate you being here. Please take a second and hit subscribe and like before you go. It really helps to support the channel, and it just makes it easier for me to be able to afford to do this and stuff. So thank you for those that have subscribed, and if you haven't yet, please consider, because it is a huge help and you'll be doing something for someone else. With that, I'm out of here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.